guys, Clint Wise here from Freedom Realty Source, and this is your 5-minute update. Hey everyone, alright, so we're going to get into the 5-minute update, and as you can see I'm out here at nighttime because I wanted to get this squeezed in. I've got a busy week ahead of me and I did not want to forget to get one of my 5-minute update videos up for you guys to give you some good information. And this time we're going to be talking about appraisals and how appraisals are so important in the home selling as well as home buying process, really. I'm going to be giving you guys some key things to think about as far as appraisals go and why appraisals are so crucial during these times, all right? So the first thing is location. Location can have a lot to do with an appraisal. A home in Lake Nona of Central Florida is not going to appraise for the same that a house in Davenport, Florida would, right? You can take the same exact square footage home, same number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and that house is not going to appraise at the same value as a house would in Davenport, all right? It can be two completely different values because of the geographical location, all right? Something else you want to take into account, kind of under that location category, is the schools and the rating of those schools. Those are taken into account by appraisers. You've got roads, whether or not the road that runs, mainly the road that runs in front of your home, but it also includes roads that run to your home, are either maintained or not maintained, whether they're county maintained, privately maintained, whether they're dirt, shale, asphalt, whatever those types of roads are, right? So you got those things to think about. Whether or not you live on a busy road is another thing that appraisers take into account. Homes that are sitting right on a main highway, like 192 that runs, from east to west, pretty much across the state of Florida. Those houses are going to have a lower appraisal value because they're on a main thoroughfare like that, right? And then also, you've got other things to think about with location too, as far as the owners being primarily owners in your neighborhood as far as renters in your neighborhood, right? So if you have a neighborhood that is mainly owned, primary ownership homes, those homes are going to tend to have a little bit higher appraisal value than, say, if you buy a house out in the vacation area of Four Corners or Champions Gate that's close to the theme parks of Disney. You're going to have a lot of vacation homes out there. Those are not primary homes. Those are investment properties people have purchased for Airbnb type scenarios, and those are going to typically appraise a little bit less than that same exact house if you sat it over in a neighborhood that was primary owners, right? So just a few things to think about location there. So now the next thing is construction materials. If you have house A and house B, because everything in appraisals is on comparison and coming up with a value for those comparisons. So if you have house A made out of block and house B made out of wood frame construction, typically wood frame construction is going to appraise less than a block home will. It's the same exact square footage, same number of bedrooms, same number of bathrooms. Both of them could be single story. All the factors could be identical across the board, and typically a block home is going to appraise more than a wood frame home will. All right, so something to think about when you're purchasing. All right, and also something to know when you're getting ready to sell. All right, something else to think about is shingles versus a metal roof. I know in St. Cloud, Florida, there are a lot of houses that have a metal roof. Metal roofs last a lot longer. Typically, you keep them pressure washed and a fresh coat of paint on them, and they're going to last a really, really long time. Typically have a lot longer life expectancy than a shingle roof does. Typically shingles, the average age on shingles, they tell you is 30 years. Right around the 20-year mark, most people start seeing that they need to replace shingles, especially with our hurricane seasons in Central Florida, all right? So that's something that's taken into account as far as construction materials go. Something else that we're seeing a lot more of today with a lot of green communities popping up is solar panels. So with solar panels, I have had a couple of houses that I sold that had solar panels, and we were able to get a very decent value added to the appraised value of the home because it had solar panels, right? And I know that right now, certainly, if you're looking into solar panels, I think you can still get some state and federal rebates for purchasing solar panels. All right. So age of the home is the next one. Age of the home, and there's a couple of other factors as well: bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. all that stuff, sorry, there's a plane going over. All of that stuff is going to be, I've got a friend of mine who's an appraiser, and he told me one time that appraisers can work off of up to a 15% or so swing, all right, on square footage and age of the house. Okay, so you don't have to find comps that exactly match the age of your home. It's best if you can, just like if you can find comps that are in the same exact neighborhood as you, but appraisers are going to go outside the neighborhood as well. They're going to go up to a half a mile if you're out in very rural areas and they need to find comps. I've heard of appraisers going up to 1.5 miles away from your house, a 1.5 mile radius to find comps. But as far as age and square footage go, you're going to have about a 15% or so swing either way. So they will, if your house is 2,000 square feet, they will go up to, say, 2,200 square feet and count that as a comp. Or they'll swing down to 1,800 square feet and count that as a comp. All right, so it doesn't have to be exact. Let's talk about curb appeal for a second. That's the next one on the list. So curb appeal, this is something that comes up a lot with my clients, and they ask me, well, should I get a little bit of landscaping done? And I tell them that it's like selling anything else. First impression is everything. So if an appraiser drives up to your property and they get a sense that the house is run down, it needs pressure washed, there's mud all over the bottom quarter of the home, and the driveway is completely oil stained and looking a mess, the landscaping is just tired, or there is no landscaping, then that's going to automatically set the tone for that appraiser before he even steps inside, or she even steps inside. And so I tell people that if you can spend a couple of $100s and just get some plant material, carve out a couple of nice bed lines, throw some mulch in, and give it that pop that it needs for good curb appeal, you're going to do yourself a massive favor, probably more than you would ever know. All right. Something else I want you guys to think about is kind of along the construction material line, I guess, is whether or not your house has central AC and heating. A house obviously that has central AC and heating is going to be appraised for a higher value than a house that only has window or wall units. All right. So if you're looking to get top dollar out of your home, you want to make your home more sellable, more marketable, get some quotes on installing a central AC and heating system. Let's talk about garages. So garages, I typically see value from a 2-car garage to a 3-car garage. I'll see a difference in value of usually around $3,000 to $4,000. So probably about the same, maybe a little bit less than a bedroom would be. So the difference between typically a 4-bedroom house versus a 3-bedroom house is that 4-bedroom home is going to be appraised usually anywhere between $5,000 and $6,000, 5 to 7, somewhere around there. So I think that about wraps it up here. I'm taking a look at my list. So the appraiser is going to take a look at recent comps, and also any renovations that have been done. That's another great thing to bring up. Renovations. If you are looking to get top dollar for your house, it may be worth it to you to throw in a backsplash if you need to, and just spruce up your kitchen. Maybe paint the kitchen cabinets. I know for some of you that can be a big task, but if you do little things like that, and the appraiser walks in and they get that sense that you've tried and that you've done some real improvements to your home, they're going to automatically know that the house is being taken care of for the time that you've lived in it, and they're not going to start digging, looking for the little bitty minutia details and stuff like that. And especially on FHA appraisals, which they can typically do sometimes with FHA appraisals. So any recent little renovations that you can do, fantastic. Get your curb appeal up. And I hope this helps you guys with the information. As you're looking at selling your home, you can jump online, you can reach out to me. I have a free phone app that I can offer you that is directly linked to the MLS. My number is 321-615-2812. I believe we've gone a little over 5 minutes today, but there was a lot that I wanted to cover, and I hope you guys got some good information out of this. Feel free to reach out to me, please. I'm here to help any way I can. I hope you guys have a great evening. I'm going to go get out of this cold weather. Bye.